everyone, I'm Nico Chief Bricks, and today I'm building 3 Clone Wars Mocs in 3 days. The goal for this video is for every single Moc to try something new or improve upon something, whether that be improving upon building a river or trying rock work for the first time. That's kind of the goal for this video. I'm very excited. I've always wanted to build rock work. I had a massive part order that supports all Mocs in this video. But before we get started, definitely go ahead and leave a like on the video and hit subscribe if you are new to the channel so you do not miss any more LEGO Star Wars content. Without further ado, let's get building. Starting off with this first Moc, I wanted to do a small river on 2 corners opposite of each other. So I went ahead and placed down the 1x4 translucent blue tiles, and then I started adding some layering of dark tan and sand, as those different layers of water, like wet sand and sand, obviously. And then for the actual river, I added some wedge pieces for texture, and I just started adding layers for the landscape to make it a little more detailed. Then I went ahead and layered the grass area as well. So for the grass area, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I was going to add a bunch of plants, obviously to make the middle area not just bland, not just plates. So I decided to use a little technique I haven't used in a while, where it's just stacking these leaf pieces on each other to make very tall plants, and I was going to scatter that throughout the entire midsection of the Moc. And I spaced them out as much as I could to fit minifigures in there, since I didn't want them to be too close up. So here is the finished river Moc. First, I'm going to take you through the river on this side. So after I got done with adding all the plants, I had recently got an order of 1x1 translucent clear studs, and so I sprinkled them throughout the little river to add some kind of like a wave effect and just some more detail, and I did do that with both sides. So for the minifigure placement, I was really like, okay, where should the clones go? So I added 4 of them walking through the plants and 2 of them kind of stopping by to look at the river, kind of gaze outside of the plants. And then for the detail on the land, I had some, I don't really know what you call these pieces, like the slope pieces a little bit. I guess kind of like low rock formations, you could say, or just sand piles, essentially. And here's some of the little wedge pieces, making a little jagged look, which I really do like. And then on the other river side is pretty much the same for the most part. Like I said, I sprinkled in some of the things. It turned out very nice. Definitely was a good choice ordering these pieces. Now onto the kind of main attraction of the Moc, which is this midsection. So majority of the plants are these tall, just using a bunch of leaf pieces stacking, like I said earlier in the build. And then I sprinkled in some of the 3-stemmed leaf pieces in the middle just to kind of make it not feel empty. And then I put some clone troopers walking, kind of like this is a clone patrol on just some, planet. Building rivers has always been something that I've tried to improve on. Definitely better than the first river I ever built for a LEGO Star Wars Moc. So I really do like how it came out. Maybe the clone troopers patrolling this planet will find something like a separatist base. For this specific Moc, doing this plant technique was definitely the right thing to do. It definitely adds to the kind of river tropical feel. And now doing this kind of river Moc is one of my favorites to do, so I'll definitely be doing more of these in the future, and there's always things to improve upon. Now for the second Moc, I will be building a small battle on the planet Geonosis. This is my first time building anything Geonosis, so I made sure to order a couple of parts to help out with this Moc. I mainly used dark tan because that was what was majority of my collection, but I did buy a lot of medium nougat and dark orange plates and tiles as well. I could have bought a little bit more, but like I said, my overall collection does include dark tan, so that is more prominent. But I made the best of the part selection that I got, and it still turned out very well. So I started layering a mix of tile and plates. I was pretty much alternating between dark tan, medium nougat, and dark orange, kind of doing pockets, because I wanted to make sure that I had enough parts to cover the entire base, which thankfully I did. And I had some left over of the medium nougat and dark orange, so I started layering more. And then when it comes to Geonosis, there are always these iconic pillar structures that are on the landscape. So I went ahead and used a technique that I got from Coconut Brick Studios, who got from Solid Brick Studios, and it turned out very nice. It is an awesome technique, and I had just enough to make 2 of these big pillars, which fit for the size of this Moc. And then I sprinkled in some 1x1 round bricks. And then last but not least was placing down the minifigures, and I decided to go with plain Phase 2 clone troopers. Here is the finished Geonosis mock. I sprinkled in some battle droids and super battle droids, taking on 5 Phase 2 regular clone troopers. And then, like I said earlier in the time lapse, I sprinkled in just 1 by 1 round bricks, and I stacked them by 2, and then I did 3 over here because those are prominent on the Geonosis landscape. And then, of course, this very awesome pillar technique by Solid Brick Studios. It looks so awesome, and it was very cool getting to recreate this for one of my own mocks. It was very awesome doing that. And then the landscape overall, I definitely could have used some more dark orange and medium nougat to really balance out the dark tan. But like I said, I got enough to at least fill out multiple spots of this mock. And my dark tan collection was definitely very bigger. So, but like I said, it definitely does still look nice. And it was cool doing a mock that does this coloring. This is my first time doing anything with dark orange or medium nougat, so it was nice to do something different, and that was kind of my plan going into this video. Doing this was definitely an accomplishment for me. I definitely want to do a bigger Geonosis mock in the future once I build up my dark orange part selection, but for now this did the job nicely. And for the third base, I had recently gotten a lot of mountain rock pieces, so I wanted to do some form of a small clone base with an outside mountain structure. I both got a lot of dark bluish gray slope pieces and dark tan slope pieces. For this specific mock, I'm going with the dark tan, so I put a layer of dark tan plates. And for the clone base itself, I didn't want it to be that big, so it took up just a corner of the mock, and then I built it on a high foundation so I can fill it with rock pieces as I'm doing now. And I was experimenting with, what kind of designs I wanted to do. This is my first time doing any form of rock work in a mock, because it's the first time having this many parts. So this whole point was to really experiment with it and see what I can do. And it was starting to go nicely with the kind of first layer of the rock building. And then I started to just build up the structure of the base. Once the structure of the base was all done, I started tiling off the roof and building these kind of fortifications to put on the roof. Could be some generators or some air filters, something like that. Not really air filters, but something to add on top of the base. I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background. I'll let her in here in a second. But I added some red streaks to show that it is a clone base, and then I just tiled it off for the rest of the base. And then I focused really on the land work. I didn't want to fill the entire base plate with different parts and pieces for detail, but I wanted to put enough to where it looked nice, and then I went ahead and put some minifigures. Here is the finished base all done. It turned out very awesome, better than I expected. So starting off here on the right side, I put a bunch of droids coming to attack this small clone outpost, and I put some kind of like they're coming from this side of the base, which is pretty cool. And then I had two actually fighting the clones over there. So starting off over here on the right side, I didn't want this part of the base to feel so empty, so I added some vents just for the base exterior detail. And then here's kind of some of the rock work that I built up for this side of the base. Just added a bunch of slopes on top of one another, and I think it is very simple, but as my first time, I feel like this is pretty good at kind of experimenting with it. And then I added some more slopes down here and just some plates to kind of add some more depth to the landscape, and just some more rock work to fill this empty area. Same over here, I added some more rock work right here, some more plates, and I kind of sprinkled that throughout the entire mock, some different variations, but kind of keeping it the same. And making the clones use it as cover. So here at the front of the base is kind of the main part of the rock work, and I think this definitely is the best part and doesn't make the base feel very empty on the exterior side, so I do like that a lot. And I love the different angles that rock work brings to the base. Then on top of the base, I decided last minute to add this kind of generator in the middle, because without it, it felt kind of empty in the middle. So I was like, you know what? This fits perfectly in between the red lines, so that was definitely a good thing to do. Over here is my first time kind of doing a staircase. So I have a clone sitting here on just one stud. And then I ordered these pieces to kind of act as rail guards, which is, you know, it's simple, but it kind of gets the job done. And I do like how the stairs came out. Building stairs is another first thing that I haven't really done, so doing this definitely was a step in the right direction. And then I have two 212 troopers fighting up here. All three clones do have the Clone Army Customs helmet, which is an exceptional helmet. I mean, the detail and the printing is just awesome. And then over here, we just have some crates as some exterior base detail. So this is the Mountain Mock. Definitely a step in the right direction. Definitely helped my rock work building skills. I had a really fun time building these 3 Mocs, trying new things, especially the Geonosis Mock. I've always wanted to build a Geonosis Mock. I just never had any of the pieces like in the color scheme to build. And finally I do at least enough to build what looks like a Geonosis Mock. So I was very happy about that. And in the future I will order more parts to make a bigger Mock. And same with the rock work. I never had many slope pieces to build any mountain shape or rock work for structures, so I'm very happy that I have pieces to do that now, and so I can expand on different Mocs and build more Mocs in the future. But if you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like and hit the subscribe button. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.